Have you ever had a moment when you knew the English sentence inside your head, but your mouth stayed completely silent? Maybe someone asked you a simple question. How was your day? And suddenly, your brain felt like a crowded train station. Too many thoughts, too much noise, too many translations happening at the same time, and while you were searching for the perfect sentence, the moment disappeared. Yeah, that feeling hurts more than people think. Because sometimes it is not only about English. Sometimes it feels like you cannot show the real version of yourself.
Exactly. You know what's funny? Many English learners are actually very smart people. They have ideas, opinions, dreams. But when they try to speak English, their brain becomes like an old computer with 50 tabs open. Everything moves slowly.
That is such a good metaphor, and honestly, I think many listeners will understand that feeling immediately. You want to speak naturally, you want words to come out smoothly, but instead, your brain keeps translating every little thing, word by word, like carrying heavy grocery bags up a hill.
Yeah, exhausting. And today's episode is about something very important: how to think in English. So speaking English becomes easier, calmer, and more natural. Not perfect, just more natural.
And if you sometimes feel frustrated, please remember this. You are not bad at English. Your brain is simply trying to protect you. It wants safety. It wants certainty. But language is messy sometimes. And that is okay.
Exactly. Today we'll talk about small changes that can completely change the way you speak English. And honestly, one tiny habit changed everything for me.
Ooh, we'll talk about that soon. By the way, hi everyone. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is Speak English with Purpose, the podcast where you improve your English slowly, naturally, and confidently through real conversations and stories.
So grab your tea, your coffee, or maybe you're listening while walking outside. And let's begin.
Ethan, do you remember the first time you tried thinking in English?
Oh yes. And honestly, it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah. I remember walking through a supermarket one day, and I told myself, okay, from now on, I will think only in English. Very dramatic moment, like a movie scene.
I can already feel the disaster coming.
Oh, it came fast. I looked at tomatoes, and suddenly my brain froze. Because I forgot the word tomato.
No.
Yes. I just stood there looking at vegetables like they were dangerous strangers, and then my brain started panicking. What is tomato in English? Wait, is tomato English?
That is actually so relatable. Sometimes panic makes us forget even easy words.
Exactly. And that day, I realized something important. Thinking in English is not about forcing your brain. It's about training it gently. Like teaching a child how to ride a bicycle. You don't scream at the child. You don't say, "Why are you not riding perfectly?" You let them wobble a little.
I love that image. And honestly, many learners are too hard on themselves. They expect perfect English immediately. But language learning is more like planting seeds. At first, nothing happens. Then slowly, tiny green leaves appear. And one day, You realize you are speaking without translating everything.
That moment feels magical. Actually, something small happened to me last year, and it surprised me.
Tell us.
I was tired after work. Very tired. My brain was basically mashed potatoes.
That is such a funny image.
But then I dropped my keys on the floor. And without thinking, I said, "Oh, come on," in English. Naturally, no translation, no effort. It just came out. And that tiny moment made me realize my brain was slowly changing.
Wow. And listeners, this is important. Progress often looks very small at first. Maybe today you only think one sentence in English. That still matters because your brain is building new roads. And every small sentence adds another brick.
Exactly. People think fluency arrives like lightning, but usually it arrives quietly, little by little.
You know, I used to talk to myself in English while cleaning my apartment.
Oh, really?
Emily. Yeah, very glamorous life. I would wash dishes and say things like, "Okay, where did I put the spoon?" Or, "I'm too tired to clean today." Very simple sentences. But those moments helped me think faster in English because they were real.
That's the key. Real language, not textbook language. Nobody walks around saying, "Greetings, I am currently experiencing hunger."
Please imagine saying that to your friend.
Your friend would slowly walk away.
Exactly. Real English is emotional, messy, human. Sometimes we stop mid-sentence. Sometimes we say, or, and that is normal.
Actually, I think many learners are afraid of silence. When they stop speaking for 2 seconds, they panic. But native speakers pause too, all the time.
Yes, a pause is not failure. A pause is just thinking. And thinking takes time, even in your own language sometimes.
You know what else helped me think in English? Describing my environment, like, "The sky looks grey today," or "This coffee smells amazing." Simple observations.
That is such a powerful habit because your brain starts connecting English directly to life, not to translation. And eventually, English becomes less like a school subject and more like a real experience.
Exactly. It becomes part of your day, like music in the background.
Okay, Ethan, let's share some useful phrases listeners can start using immediately, naturally. No pressure.
Yes. And these are phrases people actually use in real life, not strange textbook English from 1987.
Okay, first phrase, I was about to. This is super useful. Example, I was about to call you, meaning you plan to do something very soon.
I use this one all the time, like, I was about to go to bed, or I was about to eat your pizza. Important information.
Very important. Another great phrase is, it feels like. This phrase helps you express emotions naturally. Example, it feels like my brain stops working when I speak English.
That sentence is probably very relatable for many listeners. And here's another one. I ended up. This means something happened finally, maybe unexpectedly. For example, I went to the cafe for 10 minutes, but I ended up staying there for 2 hours.
Ooh, yes, I love that phrase. And listeners, notice something important. These phrases are emotional, human. That is why they sound natural.
Exactly. Language is not only grammar, language is connection.
Here's another useful expression. My mind went blank, meaning you suddenly cannot think clearly. Example: when the teacher asked me a question, my mind went blank.
That happened to me during a job interview once. Terrible experience. The interviewer asked a very simple question, and suddenly my brain became an empty white room.
Oh no. What did you do?
I smiled politely and drank water very slowly, hoping intelligence would return.
Honestly, sometimes water feels emotional support.
Exactly. And listeners, it's okay if your mind goes blank sometimes. That happens to everyone, even native speakers.
Okay, now let's make this practical, because I know many listeners are thinking, this sounds good, but how do I actually start thinking in English? So let's make it simple. Tiny steps.
Yes, no pressure. No impossible goals. You do not need to think in English for 10 hours a day. Start with 5 minutes. Seriously, 5 minutes matters.
Here's practice number 1. Describe your day in simple English. Not perfect English, simple English. For example, I'm making breakfast. I feel tired today. I need to answer emails. Very easy.
Practice number 2. Talk to objects around you. And yes, you may feel slightly ridiculous, but it works. Look at your coffee and say, "This coffee is too hot." Or, "I need more sugar." Your brain starts building automatic connections.
Practice number 3. Use sentence starters. These are powerful because they reduce pressure. Here are some examples. I feel like, I'm thinking about, I was about to. It reminds me of, I ended up. These small sentence starters can unlock conversation.
Exactly. Sometimes learners freeze because they try to build huge, perfect sentences. But conversation is often small pieces connected together, like Lego blocks.
That's such a good metaphor. And here's another practical tip. Stop translating everything. Seriously, translation is useful sometimes, but too much translation is like driving with the handbrake on. Your brain cannot move smoothly.
Instead, connect English directly to images and feelings. For example, when you hear rain, don't think of the word in your language first. Imagine rain, the sound, the smell, the feeling.
That makes English more alive, more emotional, and your memory becomes stronger too.
Another powerful habit. Think in English during boring moments. While walking, while washing dishes, while waiting for the bus. Those tiny moments are gold.
Yes, because fluency grows quietly inside ordinary life, not only during study time. All right, everyone, it's time for our word tour. Today we'll review some useful words and phrases from this episode, and remember, repeat after us if you can. Speaking out loud matters. 1. My mind went blank, meaning you suddenly cannot think clearly. Example: my mind went blank during the presentation. Repeat, my mind went blank.
Again. My mind went blank. 2. I ended up. Meaning something happened finally, maybe unexpectedly. Example: I only wanted one cookie, but I ended up eating 5.
Honestly relatable. Repeat. I ended up. 3. It feels like. Meaning, used to describe emotions or experiences. Example: it feels like everyone else speaks faster than me. Repeat. It feels like. 4. I was about to.
Meaning, you plan to do something very soon. Example: I was about to sleep when my friend called me. Repeat. I was about to. 5. Freeze. 5. Freeze.
Meaning, to suddenly stop because of nervousness or fear. Example: I freeze when people speak English too fast. Repeat. I freeze. 6. Wobble. 6. Wobble.
Meaning, to move unsteadily, like learning to ride a bicycle. Example: at first, your English may wobble a little. Repeat. Wobble. 7. Tiny steps. 7. Tiny steps.
Meaning, small actions that slowly create progress. Example: tiny steps can change your English completely. Repeat. Tiny steps.
Part 6. Action steps plus CTA. Before we finish today's episode, let's make this simple. Here are your action steps for today, not 20 steps, just a few. Step 1. Think in English for 5 minutes today. Only 5. That's enough. Step 2. Describe 3 things around you in English. Simple sentences are perfect. Step 3. Use one phrase from today's episode in real life. Maybe, it feels like. Or, I ended up. Use it somewhere today. Step 4. Be kind to yourself. Seriously. Your brain is learning something difficult, and progress is often invisible before it becomes obvious.
I really hope listeners remember that. You do not need perfect English to connect with people. You just need courage and practice, little by little, day by day.
And remember the supermarket story? The tomato disaster?
Yes.
That confused person standing near vegetables eventually became someone who could think naturally in English. And you can too.
Exactly. One small moment at a time. One sentence at a time. One tiny step at a time.
So here's our question for you today. What is one moment when your English brain froze? Tell us in the comments. We really love reading your stories.
And if this episode helped you feel calmer or more confident, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another English learner. Maybe someone out there needs this encouragement today.
Take care, everyone.
And remember, speak English slowly, speak English naturally, and always speak English with purpose. Bye,
Everyone.